Hi everyone. If you are struggling to land your first tech job, you're not alone. I've been there. Rejections, self doubt, and endless applications. Let me share my story today, which started over a decade ago. I studied electronics and communications engineering in India. In my final year, campus interviews were announced. I was terrified, but encouraged by my friends, I gave it a shot and got selected for an engineering position at a power plant. It felt like a dream, landing a job before even I graduate. But life had other plans. My parents were not comfortable with me moving far away before getting married. So I gave up my first job offer. It was a painful decision, but I respected their wishes. After my marriage, I had all the support and freedom to pursue my dream job. But there were no jobs. Yes, the recession had hit hard and the timing couldn't have been worse. Forget about new openings, there were many layoffs. Many experienced professionals were struggling to find work. I was just another fresh graduate competing in the same race for entry level roles. With no jobs, layoffs everywhere, and growing gap in my resume, I faced rejection after rejection. Years passed and I tried everything: bank exams, electronic engineering roles, IT jobs, you name it. But nothing worked. Self doubt took over and I started losing confidence. Yet, there was one thing I never let go of: hope. I have failed countless interviews. I still remember one where the interviewer asked me to leave after the first question. That's fair. Why waste their time if I couldn't even answer the basics? That's when I decided to change my approach. Besides preparing for interviews, I started writing down everything I learned. I made 3 notebooks. By the way, there was no YouTube back then. So the notes I started preparing, one was about explaining the concepts by technology, two, examples for every line item in my resume, three, a collection of questions from the interviews I attended. My goal for each interview wasn't to get the job, but to answer at least 1 or 2 questions correctly. Slowly, I started clearing one round, then 2 rounds, and sometimes even reaching the final round. But I never succeeded. I remember coming home in tears after being rejected again and again. I cried all evening. After one particularly heartbreaking rejection in the final managerial round, but the following day, I bounced back, determined to keep going. Regardless of all my serious trails, nothing worked. I eventually accepted the situation and took up a job as a lecturer at a local engineering college. Soon after a few months, one day, out of nowhere, I got a call from an MNC for a software engineer role. I couldn't even remember applying for it. I was so nervous but excited. It felt like a glimmer of hope in the middle of all my struggles. During the interview, I was fumbling and didn't perform my best. I left the room thinking, well, that's another lesson learned. But to my utter disbelief, they offered me the job. I couldn't believe it. I finally had my breakthrough. After years of rejection and self-doubt, someone was giving me a chance. I was overwhelmed with gratitude and relief. It felt like the universe was finally rewarding my perseverance. Stepping into my first day at the MNC, I remember looking at my employee badge and thinking, this is it. This is what I have been dreaming of. It wasn't just a job, it was the validation of years of consistent effort, hope, and resilience. That first step began a journey that has transformed my life. Fast forward to today, My career has given me countless opportunities. I have had the chance to work at different companies, move to new places, and grow into new roles. Looking back, I couldn't take the first job I was offered during my campus placement, but years later, I landed an IT role at an MNC even after a less than perfect interview. This taught me that you ultimately get what you truly deserve. Your results come from consistent and focused effort, not just one off actions. Remember, setbacks are a part of a journey. Don't let them define you. It's not about how many times you fail, it's about how many times you get back and keep going. So keep learning, keep trying, and never give up. Believe you can, and you're halfway there.